Alright, so let me guess, you got banned. Not just your account, but your entire PC. So the game dev has blacklisted your hardware ID, and now, no matter how many accounts you make, you can't play. That's an hardware ID ban. You've probably seen two terms everywhere, Temp spoofers and Perm spoofers. They sound similar, but they're way different. Alright, so before we go in depth on like what they are and what they do differently from each other, what even is an hardware ID? So your HWID or hardware ID is your PC's unique fingerprint. So anti-cheats are going to use the serial numbers of your motherboard, hard drives, and everything to identify your PC. So when you get banned for cheating, they're not only going to ban your account, they're going to ban your entire PC using those serials, so you can't just create a new account and play again. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, let's start with Temp spoofers. Alright, so Temp spoofers are pretty self-explanatory. They spoof your serial numbers, but temporarily. So every time you restart your PC, your original serials are going to come back. Temp spoofers are usually used by active cheaters who expect to get banned again. So they get banned, run the spoofer, play again, get banned, and repeat. Many Temp spoofers also come bundled with a cleaner, which is basically designed to delete all the ban traces from your PC so you don't have to reset Windows every time you get banned. So now I know what you're thinking. You're gonna buy a Temp spoofer because it saves you time, it doesn't fuck your original serials, and it's easy to use. But the major trade-off here is that to change your serial numbers, it uses a driver. So to make it really easy to understand, it uses a really similar method to bypass the anti-cheat as a cheat will do. And anti-cheat companies are really good at detecting unauthorized drivers. So a Temp that works today might get detected tomorrow. So that's why you gotta be careful and only go with trusted providers. Now let's talk about Perm spoofers. So this is where things get much more serious. So a Perm spoofer doesn't load any drivers when you play. Instead, it's a tool you run one time to permanently override the real serial numbers stored in your hardware's firmware. So in English, it basically means that it's gonna change your serial numbers for good. Because there's no active drivers running while you play, its chances of being detected are pretty much non-existent. It's often used by players who want to quit cheating and want to start fresh, or just people who got falsely banned, for example, getting banned on Fortnite for using a GTA mod menu. However, that doesn't mean there's no risk using a Perm. First, they're almost non-reversible, so once you change those serials, you can't go back. Second is the quality of the tool in itself. A high-quality Perm spoofer might work, but a low-quality one can literally fuck your PC up. So the first outcome is that it simply fails and breaks your hardware. It can also corrupt your SM BIOS, which will lead to delayed bans, or just spoof with completely unrealistic serials. For example, giving an ASRock motherboard serials that clearly come from an MSI motherboard, the anti-cheat will eventually flag it. It might not be an instant ban, but it's called a delayed ban. So to summarize everything, if you're actively cheating and just want to spoof temporarily, use Temp spoofer. And if you want to quit cheating or got falsely banned, use a Perm spoofer to change your serials forever. But one thing though, please do not use free spoofers because you're just gonna get ratted, and don't use random spoofers because it's just gonna fuck your PC up. Changing your hardware serial number is really risky, and if it's done by a terrible spoofer, it's just gonna completely brick your PC. So invest a couple more money into a really good spoofer so you don't have to spend $200 on a new motherboard. If you want to make sure to buy from trusted providers, there's a list in my Discord server of the spoofers I personally recommend. And no, I'm not getting paid by anyone, so make sure to join discord.gg/undetected. That's pretty much it. See you guys in the next one. Peace.